Good Sunday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609 near Llano, Texas, leaving an RV park where I live. And we're just going to take a drive, and you'll be able to see what Central Texas looks like on a morning about 45 degrees, overcast, and nice for me. I just got back from my walk and got me some green tea and some dark chocolate almonds and a little trail mix. And I just got a dinger on my phone, which means I got a massage. My master's voice. Okay, anyway, we will wait for my master's voice later and continue with this driving video. That's one thing good about having two phones, because had I been using that phone to do the video, it would have stopped it. Maybe. No, it gives you a message. But anyway, we're going to turn right here on 152 and go towards Castell like we've done 7,488 times and drive parallel to the golf course. Is this thing pretty straight? I guess it is. But anyway, guys, the Class C is coming. The last real news I had was Monday last week. The man in sales for this region with Thor Manufacturing said it was in transportation, that's a separate company, but he could access and see where it was. Said it was waiting on a driver and he would let me know when it got one. But he didn't tell me the rest of the story, and the rest of the story is that he was going to take off Wednesday at noon for several days, because apparently Thor Manufacturing closes for Thanksgiving and Christmas for a number of days. I don't know how many days. I mean, I was told as long as 2 weeks, but I can't see them doing that now, as busy as they are, but you never know. Having said that, hopefully I can find out something more definitive tomorrow, being Monday. Today is November the 28th, I think, that we're in the Thanksgiving period. Oh, we're also in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Black Green Tuesday, Purple Friday, purple whatever Wednesday. I mean, they put labels on this stuff to get you all hyped up. But I have a feeling that their sales this year are going to be a big fat flop. Why? Well, people are spooked. So anyway, having said that, let's move on here. Population of Llano is 3,332. But having said the population density of Llano County, I think, is 18 people per square mile, which is virtually nothing. If you don't believe me, check the population density of New York City and compare that to this. Oh golly, guys, I'm just rambling here. It's a pretty morning. I just wanted to get out and take a drive. And when I go back, I'll try some of the ideas that some of the viewers sent me on trying to remove the storage or delete stored items on the Pixel phones, but I don't think it's going to. I hate to be pessimistic, but we'll see. I hope one of them works. We'll see. One of the people that left a comment trying to help me was somebody that made fun of my rainbow shoes from Merrill, and I kicked him off the channel. If your idea works, I'll let you back. I can't remember his name now. Yeah, don't make fun of my shoes. Don't make fun of my Crocs either. Yeah, I may let them out of the purgatory. Some of them, you can't. I don't know if you can let one out. I think you've got an option to let them all out or none. I let them all out a few weeks ago, and I may do it again. I think at one time I had about 3,000 people in the banned file or folder, whatever it is, with YouTube. There's a sign that says dip. What, snuff? Moving on, guys. Class C's are coming. That's going to be a pretty big change in my life, I think. I'm driving 40 miles an hour, got the cruise control on, and so far have we seen a car yet? I don't think we have. And we may not, because it's a Sunday morning, holidays, and people aren't out and about. A lot of deer hunters, but they're out there in those woods hunting those deer. Now, hunting now, it used to be when you hunted, you had to be careful with the wind, and you'd look for tracks and trails and stuff like that. You don't do that anymore. No, 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 no. Somebody in a Jeep drives a heated Jeep, drives you out to a heated or non-heated deer blind. Most of them have heaters now of some kind, and they'll have some booze in there usually. And the deer blind is conveniently located about 100 yards from a feeder, which is in the wide open, a deer feeder, which throws out corn using a timer. And the deer are trained. It's just like the government sending out Social Security checks on the first or whatever day of the month. You know, the people watch their bank account to see whether it's going up or down or going up. So, you know, we're no different. The deer come to the easy food just like we do. So that's hunting today. And then when the deer comes up, you put the laser spot right on his shoulder, just right at the shoulder blade, a little below, and pull the trigger, and you hit him right in the heart. The deer falls down. The people that work for the deer lease, or maybe the owners, hear the shot and the pop, get in the Jeep, go by there, pick up the deer, take it back, hang it up, quarter it, pull the skin off, quarter it, and do all that stuff. Put it in freezer wrap, and the deer hunter has done his hunting for the year. And if he's a good old buck with a few nice points, or deer have antlers, cows have horns. The difference is antlers fall off and horns don't. So anyway, every year the antlers fall off and they regrow them, believe it or not. But anyway, if his buck, if it was a buck, has a good rack of horns, or they say horns, but they mean antlers, and then they may take it somewhere and have it mounted. And wouldn't that be nice to have a dead deer head hanging up in your living room? Yippee, I mean, I've actually been in homes where they have, rhinos and bears stuffed, and what do they call them, the big white polar bear. Yeah, I remember one guy even had a polar bear rug in his office that he had killed the polar bear. I thought, well, how brave, But it's a macho thing. Men still have to prove they're men. Now women have to prove they're men. That's really weird. The girls go out hunting now, and have been for years. If you were hunting for food because you needed it, I believe that's a little different. Am I against hunting? No. Up here it's almost necessary because the deer population is so large that they become a nuisance. And so that's why they do it. But on and on we go. The reason I'm talking about deer season is that's a big season here in Llano County. It's the deer hunting capital of Texas. For white-tailed deer, that's a small deer, native deer in this area. But back to RVing. Let's take a U-turn and go back to RVing and the Class C and other stuff. I was walking this morning and I was thinking about, what are my options? What if I just said to hell with the Class C and took that money and said, okay, I'm going to do something else? What would I do? Well, that became a difficult question. I thought, well, hell, I go buy me a Tesla. Well, what am I going to do? Live in the Tesla? I doubt it. And then I thought, well, why don't you get you a cheap travel trailer and a big V8 truck and tow that thing? Well, I don't want to do that anymore. I've done that. I'm getting the Class C because how about just starting it up and driving off somewhere? You still have to unhook the electric and sewer and water, which takes about 3 minutes. But you don't have to back up, hook up, back up. And I didn't have a backup camera on my truck. Could have added one, but I didn't want one. Hard-headed, you know me. But actually the Class C comes with a backup camera and cameras in the side mirrors, so you can see what's coming along beside you and behind you. Pretty neat. So I'll have to get used to driving it. And I thought it would be here by now, but it ain't. Isn't this wonderful though? You see this, guys? No traffic. You got me? None. Here comes, just as I say that, naturally, Murphy's Law. One. Boy, that's a traffic jam, isn't it? Be a big delay up here. Central Texas on a fall day. Nice. See, right now, You know, all these guys are sitting in those deer blinds, they're just freezing. Why? Because the deer aren't moving right now. You know, what you do when well, the way we used to do it, we used to walk and hunt. You know, you'd actually go walking and look for trails, and you'd try to get the wind right so that when the deer were coming back from wherever they were, you know, you would, or whatever, that you'd be on the side of the trail where the wind was blowing your scent away from the trail. We didn't feed anything. We hardly fed ourselves. But we had a good life. My, what a good life. Class C RV and me. Can you believe it, guys? Man, oh man. I think this will be my 6th RV. I'm not sure. I can't remember how many I've had. The first one I had, I think, was I can't remember, Aljo, I think was the name of it. ALJO. Oh, and it was a disaster on 4 wheels. Had double axle, 28-footer, just what I needed. Double doors, yeah, I had 2 entry doors on the outside, just what I needed. Another car, oh no, Mr. Bill. But we're cruising along now at 40 miles an hour, so if they turn behind me, they're just gonna have to be patient. You know, they're going the other way, going to town. But anyway, yeah, I had the Aljo, and then I got let me think. Well, I was living in one before I went in the Peace Corps, and I don't know what it was. And then got the Aljo when I got back, and then I got rid of it and got a what? Oh, I know what it was. It was a Kit 19-footer or 19-footer, yeah. But it had a separate bed. I remember that, yeah. And then after that one, I got a, seemed like there was one in between, but then I remember getting a Jayco J-Flight 26-footer or whatever it was. And then I got the 16-foot Coachman Clipper Cadet. Then I got the Casita 17-footer, and now I'm getting a 4 Winds 22E from Thar Manufacturing. So how many is that? 5? It seems like there's one more in there somewhere, but maybe not. Whatever it is, I've had a lot of travel trailers. Never owned a Class C, fixing to, but Class C and me. How y'all doing, guys? Y'all doing fine? I hope so. I hope your Thanksgiving was enjoyable and all your holidays are good. The main thing is keep your health if you can. And if you've lost some of your health for whatever reason, stroke or whatever, you know, try to do the best you can with the limitations you have. Adapt to whatever condition is. I had an uncle, name was J.W. J.W. was a Navy boxer in World War II, and he was built like he had a V, man. He had the 6-pack on his belly. I mean, he was a freaking muscle-bound machine. His own nose had been flattened so many times. But anyway, he used to put his arms out, and my brother and I would do chin-ups on his outstretched arms. No kidding, he was an amazing guy. Let me tell you what happened to him though. He worked for a company that installed these big tanks on these concrete foundations. Been with them for years. He was a supervisor type. And one day, they got the tank down within about 6 inches of the platform, and the strap that was holding, or chain or whatever it was, there was some problem with it, and my uncle reached up under there to trip this, or to do something, while the crane operator kept it tight. You know what I mean? And anyway, there was a malfunction or a miscommunication or something. But anyway, the tank dropped and chopped his arm off right at his shoulder. What did he do? Immediately, they gave him the arm with the pinchers, you know what I mean, that you operate with some of your tendons that are left. I got to tell you what, he got so good with that arm in a short period of time, he was back on the job full time. You got me? You know, of course, he got a disability or some kind of settlement, you know what I mean? A pretty good one, actually. But be that as it may. But he did overcome very rapidly that lost arm. He never complained about it. He used to take those pinchers. He could button his shirt. He could light a cigarette because he smoked. And yeah, he tie his shoes, do all kind of stuff. It was just like a regular hand. He got good at it because he just used those pinchers like two fingers, a thumb and a finger, and he was good at it. So you know, he overcame it. He never let it, as far as I know. I never heard him complain. I never heard him say one thing about it ever. But having said that, that's how you deal with life, guys. You just overcome obstacles as they're laid in your path. And go on and on and on, because if it's there and it's done, there's no sense complaining about it or whining about it. Just get going. You know, it's done, it's behind you. Deal with what you got, and that works with RVing too. I mean, if you're out on the road somewhere and you have a flat, you know, you got an option. Either you're going to have to get out and fix it, or you have to call 1-800-COME-FIX. You know, and the sooner the better. My decision is always 1-800-COME-FIX. That's what I pay for. So anyway, yeah, because I've got the best road service plan you can have with Good Sam, but I don't have but it covers my casita and my truck right now. Anything I'm in, that's the amazing part of it. Any vehicle I'm in is covered by their roadside assistance, as long as I'm in the vehicle. If I was riding along with somebody and they had a blowout or a mechanical problem, I could call 1-800-COME-FIX Good Sam, and they'd come take care of it. That's fact. It's $120 a year, $10 a month. Is it worth it? Well, if you never use it, it ain't. But if you use it one time, it is. How often have I used emergency roadside service? Probably 3 times in 25 years. Of course, I didn't even have it for the first, 10 or so. I didn't even know it was available. So anyway, guys, we're cruising along here. I'll let this go. Why? Because it's Sunday morning to give you guys something to watch rather than listen to the news. You know, whenever you get ready to listen to news, watch this video. This will be your news. What's going on in the world today that wasn't going on 1,000 years ago? Other than the technological changes, nothing. Feast, famine, disease, all the same old crap. Nothing's changed. We're here now, and that's it. Kind of boring, isn't it? Same old SOS, DD. Same old shit, different day. Sunday morning coming down. This is pleasant, isn't it? Got my green tea, got me a little snack, cruising through the countryside in Texas. Beautiful to me. Here's Basterling Creek. I know y'all wanted to see that. Basterling. That old fence there on the right, you probably couldn't see it too clearly, but it's built out of rocks. That's the way they used to build fences. They'd stack rocks. That was in the early 1800s. You know, this area here of Texas, this used to be a big ranching community, you know, big ranching, huge. And all the way down to the border of Texas, and this is where the cattle drives came through, because the Llano River, of course you got the Medina River, Sabinal, Llano rivers, you know, they could water their herds as they were going north. Then of course you had the Colorado River, Red River and stuff, because that was important. You had to water those herds. The average herd size was 3,000 head of Texas Longhorns. And it wasn't that the Texas Longhorns had the best beef or the heaviest on the hoof that was so important. The Texas Longhorns were long-legged, right? And you could herd them for 3,000 miles. You got me? Whereas a Hereford, even though they were a better meat producer, those short-legged little devils couldn't keep up with the herd. So that's where the problem was. The Herefords and some of the other short-legged cattle took over eventually when we had fences and feedlots and all kinds of stuff. But during the days of herding cattle, the Longhorns were used because of their long legs. They could stand it. They could make the drive. I know you wanted to know that. I'm reading about that now. That's why I'm talking about it. Well, guys, I'm going to end this video eventually, you think? Sunday morning. I like Sunday morning drives like this. But, you know, and it's hard to find a place like this. It's so rare that you can find a place like this where you can take a Sunday morning drive at 35 miles an hour and not have a line of cars behind you and traffic on both sides. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm cruising along here. Well, actually, right now I've moved up. I'm going 38, but and I'm getting 25.3 miles a gallon in my Ram pickup. Pretty nice, huh? At Class C, so you can drop it down a little bit. And will I stop doing the drives? No, I plan on doing some drives like this using the Class C. I do, because I'm going to do some picnicking. I'll drive over the back way to Fredericksburg or Mason or San Saba or somewhere and have me a little picnic or whatever I want to do, take a nap, drive back home, maybe. And also I'm going to chase sunshine in the winter. We're going to try that this year. I'm going to call it Chasing Sunshine. What I mean by that is like today is just overcast, which doesn't bother me. The temperature is 40 degrees, 44, and that's not bad. But when you get those days, like 3, 4, 5 days in a row where it's misty and you can't get out and do anything, I'm going to go chasing some sunshine. You know, because within 200 miles of me around here somewhere will be some days of sunshine. I can drive to them in about 3 or 4 hours. I'm fine with that. Sure, why not? They're not paying me to sit in that damn RV park. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this video has reached about 22 minutes. That's about average for me. And I want you to enjoy your weekend, or what's left. Let me smack on this almond just a second. I do like these chocolate almonds. Dark, not milk chocolate, dark chocolate. Why? Dark chocolate is good for your heart, and the almonds are loaded with vitamin E. Here's Lang Creek. I knew y'all wanted to see that, that's why I held out. I may go all the way around this morning. This loops all the way around back to Highway 29. I hate to get on it though. The reason is a lot of traffic. But anyway, guys, from north of, I guess let's see, we're west of Llano, northwest of Llano, Texas, on a cool morning, 44 degrees. There's a place for sale. Yeah. You want to look at it? Let's go back here and look at it. Now see, I can do this in this pickup, but I can't do it Class C, I guarantee you. Let's go see what this old boy's got.